is my little happy dance. This is like my little excitement. So,
I love it.
so hey y'all, hey, it's another episode of Bonafide Her podcast featuring the one and only Miss Sydney Potter.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Blessed, we blessed. It's in the new
Mhm.
year, so happy new year, y'all.
It
Happy new year.
is. New year, new me.
I would say new year, but I'm the same person. I'm just the
hmm
energetic person. But
I love it. Same.
it's a new level to me. It's the same me, but it's new levels to this.
hmm
So let's get it started. So Miss Sydney, can you tell us your sports story to how you got to where you are?
Of course I can. Thank you so much, Ashley. Okay, so we'll get started very beginning. So my name's Cindy Potter. I'm from South St. Paul, Minnesota, which is just about 15 minutes outside of St. Paul. I played rec soccer slash like traveling soccer there growing up until about fifth grade when I had to decide if I wanted to like do either basketball or soccer, kind of decide if I wanted to excel in one or the other. I chose soccer because wasn't the best at basketball, honestly, and I just liked soccer more. But then I decided to play club soccer and do a bigger club traveling team and everything. So I went to play for Rev, which is now known as Salvo Soccer Club here in Minnesota. It was one of the top clubs and everything at the time. It was amazing. I loved all the years of my time being there. I think I was there for 8 to 10 years at that point in my life. Um, what was really great about it was that I got to play for like a multitude of different teams every year. Like I played up in age levels, so it wasn't just me playing at my age group, but I would play with like when I was 12, I was playing with like 18-year-olds and just doing a lot of things with older kids. And I think that that's what kind of really helped me to be where I'm at today because since I've been playing with people that were older than me growing up, it wasn't weird going into high school soccer or going into college soccer where you're not just playing with like girls at your age group. So I think that was really cool and everything growing up. So much love for that club. And then I went to Two Rivers High School. I was originally in the South St. Paul district, but decided to transfer there for my freshman year just to kind of have like a new start and everything. I was a 4-year starter on varsity there, which I loved that program. It was amazing. Helped me really blossom into like a leadership role and everything as a person. Kind of helped just like make me better on and off the field, which is why I loved it so much. And then ended up here, right 15 minutes from my house at Concordia St. Paul, where I'm now a junior this year, junior captain and goalkeeper on the women's soccer team there. So yeah, it's a little about me.
Woo! It's like, won't he do it? Lord. So my question for you is like, soccer is considered like the most popular sport played
Mhm.
around the world. For you, you know, do you hope to see more, visibility and the viewership for soccer in the division that you're at?
I would say that I definitely hope that we get more viewership of the division that I'm at because I know that a lot of the times most things that are streamed at least on like the bigger networks like ESPN or anything that's actually really visible for most people on a television is all like the division 1 levels and mostly only like the SEC like the top like Power 5 schools. So I would love to see a lot more visibility on our division 2 because for me, when especially when I was committing to a school, I kind of had a turn because I always wanted to go Division 1, just for like that title of having the Division 1. And I kind of realized in my school search that I wanted to be happy where I was at and I wanted to actually play and make a story for myself at where I was at, which is why I ended up choosing Division 2 because I liked the balance it had and I liked how it was more of like a family culture feel. And so I feel like that needs to be expressed to the rest of the world too, like so that they know when they're searching the play or when they have kids someday that are going to play that all levels will get like the same visibility. So yeah.
Absolutely, because I agree with you. Because the whole yes, D1 is
hmm
the goal for a lot of people, but
hmm
would you rather sit and not play or see any playing or not, be able to showcase your talent
hmm
at the D1 versus say if you get chased after a D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO or
hmm
something where they are allowing you like,
hmm
hey, if I mean, coming from a mid major, I went to a mid major Division 1, and I
hmm
saw a lot of people like there were a lot of people are just as good, if not say better, than some of the D1
Mhm.
players. But you know, I think I think a lot of people need to understand if a college, regardless what division it is,
Mhm.
that they're going after or they're recruiting you, take it as a privilege and a blessing because you
Exactly.
know it is not every day like you know you're going to get that opportunity. So
Mhm.
and you got to do what's best for you too because
Mhm.
some people will get into your ear, but like, hey, do this, and I think
Mhm.
I think that's another thing that a lot of people don't talk about is like the whole like people will try to get in your ear and try to tell you which college to go to.
Mhm. No, I definitely had that experience too because, well, especially like my family, of course, like they wanted what was best for me. Like they were very pushing, like, oh, like we know you're good enough to play at Division 1. Like we'd love to see you be able to live out your dream playing at Division 1. And of course, I wanted it. Like, of who doesn't? I'm a very competitive person and everything. But then it was actually one of my best friends, Lainey, that kind of ended up talking to me like when I was making my decision and everything in the end about choosing between like a Division 1 school and choosing Concordia, and she's like, you were just so much happier after your tour at Concordia. Like you had your bubbly voice was back, like you were smiling and everything. Cause I'm a very happy person. And she's like, you just didn't have that same vibe when you came back from your tour at this school. And I think that this is just kind of the place for you. And I was like, you know what? Like, you're right. And I'm very glad that I listened to her because now I've had an amazing career at Concordia. So,
Well, my question for you is, what would you say are some of the misconceptions of Division 2 competition?
um, I feel like just from things that I hear, like a lot of people say, like, yeah, if you're not Division 1, like, you're just not good. Like, that's just what I feel like has always been kind of a misconstrued thought. And I feel like it's just completely the opposite, especially within the conference that I play in. Because I play in, it's called the NSIC. It's the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference. And it's one of the best conferences in the nation. Like, definitely one of the top two, I would say, in Division 2. I think what makes it so cool compared to like a lot of other conferences is that you're playing against the same amount of top talent on every single team that you're playing against. It's not like there's maybe like one or two teams that are like a little bit rocky, but on any given day, anybody can win. And that's what I really like about it. So I think that's something that like they don't have at every single level, which is really cool about Division 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Girl, can you put your nails up? Because I was
Oh,
like seeing like, ooh, look at
I
them
got them
nails
done. They're a
again, you
little
know.
long now, but one's a little broken. But I love having my long nails. I actually get my coaches don't love it so much because I'm a goalie, but I promise it's never stopped me. So
But I was saying it's a go. Oh, you a goalie, so you got the like.
yes,
Hey, so
exactly.
let me know. So, what would you say is speaking of goalie? Because
Hmm.
I know there's probably like misconceptions about that position where like they don't really do anything.
Yeah,
But it looks like it is honestly, if you think about it, the hardest position.
yeah.
What would you say is the misconception of the position that you play?
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I wouldn't of course say that like it's the hardest or anything because honestly, every single position on that field is hard. Like none of us can do it without each other. I think that one thing that's misconstrued is like, yes, don't worry, I'm not a runner. I picked my position for a reason. I can't run as much as most people can. Sorry, stutter a little bit. But one thing that's kind of misconstrued about it is that like you're just staying there the whole time that you're not really doing anything. However, like I never shut up when I'm on the field. I'm always the one that's kind of like having to direct everyone else, like where to go, where to be. I have to tell like different people in the shift because as a goalie, I have the best view on the field. I'm allowed to see the entire field. So, like, if somebody needs to be marking up on another girl, I'm the one that can see that if their heads turn the other way. So, I think that that's one thing that's really cool about it. And that's misconstrued because, like, I'm always having to pay almost double the attention to the game because it's not like I'm only worrying about like what I'm doing or what the opponent's doing, but also like where everyone on my whole team is. Um, and otherwise, I would just say what's misconstrued too is like the beating that your body takes. I feel like as a junior now, I think it's finally starting to set in on me how many times I've dove into the ground over the course of my like 15 years of playing goalie. So I would say that that's something that's like people might think you're not doing a lot, but at practice, when you're doing a million reps over and over again and hitting the ground, like it's just a lot. But yeah.
you make a great point. Like you get to see, it's like you have to pay attention double time. So it's
Hmm.
like, and it's like, oh, so you're like the captain of the whole. Like, you,
Yeah.
it's like that makes perfect sense. Cause I ain't gonna lie, soccer was not my thing. I
Oh,
tried
you're
it.
good.
Like I tried it once, played one game. I said, nope, that's too much for me. I love basketball, but this is too much. This is.
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
like, done. It was like a one and done for me. I was like,
Hmm.
I tried. But
Hmm.
kudos to the people that can do it. I'm like, y'all got so much stamina. I could
That's what I'm saying. If you can run, you got it. Like, I'm proud.
like, hey, I mean, like, cause like they got it's interesting though. So my question for you is, you know, um, what is it about BU athletics that stood out to you?
Mhm. I would say honestly, like at first, I had no real clue what like NIL was at the time because I was, a freshman in college. It was a very new thing at the time because really, I think the law was only changed in 2021 that like allowed all the divisions and everything to kind of participate with NIL. And so when Kaz like he reached out by DM on Instagram and just kind of told me like what it was and what he was about. And what stood out to me was like his personality and everything too. Like he's just a great guy and very with his faith and everything. And he just seemed like he wanted the best for me as an athlete. So I decided to like meet him up for I think we got Jamba Juice or something. It was something like super simple and I just got to talk to him for like an hour, hour and a half, kind of told him like my story. He told me his story. And it was just like a good human connection at first where I was like, okay, this is something where this is like a good business that I would want to pursue in. So yeah, I feel like that's how I got to it.
What would you say, like, y'all both are big in your faith, especially you, like, how do you balance your faith and your sport simultaneously?
Hmm. I would say that there's a lot of girls on my team, who are probably even better in their faith than I am, of course. However, I do have like my own Bible and everything. Like sometimes we do like Bible studies and stuff together. Like one of my friends from home, we've done that over break. And then also just like always kind of keeping it with me. Like one of my closer friends, Elena, she like sends out different texts and everything to us, or like she'll use like the Bible app and she'll like show us different verses if somebody's like struggling or anything, which I've always appreciated very much from her. And I would say that that's definitely helped a lot, just even like keeping myself in check too, because I'm not always the best with it, like, and I will admit that. But I think just having the friends around you that will hold you accountable is very important.
Absolutely, because we all look. I always, it's interesting. I seen this and I was like, this is so true. Everybody likes to be held
Mm-hmm.
until it's time for accountability.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, mm, like,
Mm.
it's so true. It's like, I can't, it's so true. But my question for you is, you know, um, I always say that athletes are humans first.
Hmm.
So for you, how important is mental health to you?
I would say it's very important actually. We also like being from Concordia St. Paul and everything. We did have a girl, she was a goalkeeper. Her name was Jordan Clark on the team a couple years back, and she lost her life to mental health battles. And so it's always been so like since I got here as a freshman, it's been a very big and important part of our program to like prioritize mental health. And I've really adored that from CSP. It's something that I don't think is shown a lot at a lot of other schools. So I really appreciate that, especially because like I know as a freshman, like when I was in my freshman year, that was a very difficult year. One, you're experiencing like you're living away from home for the first time. You're meeting a million new people when you don't really know anybody else at the school. But also on top of that, we were going through struggles within soccer and going from, all of us basically as freshmen were starters on their high school teams, played 3 to 4 years on their high school teams, came from really great club backgrounds and everything, and then going to not playing for a whole season. That's very difficult for a lot of people and definitely was difficult for me, like myself.
I think it's one of those things that like it needs to be taken more seriously for
Hmm.
sure. Especially like athletes have the hardest job. Like
Yeah.
imagine having to. I always say, especially people that say, "Oh, they got it good." No, you try
Hmm.
waking up at 5 in the morning for these. early.
Ooh. Oh yeah, those 6 a.m. practices, they get me in the wintertime.
And it's cold too.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
man. And then also, like, on top of that, like, going straight to class. Then you got,
Mhm.
like, say, lifts and position work and everything. And it's like,
Mhm.
and y'all don't probably get home till like maybe 9, between 9 to 11 at night. And then
Yeah.
everything's like
But then you gotta do homework.
that.
See, because you gotta remember, student athlete, not just athlete either. So I think that's something that is definitely misconstrued about a lot of athletes and everything. You know, people sometimes think they're dumb or that they don't care about school, but like for me and my team especially, our coach holds us very accountable, not just on the field, but also the person that you are and the person that you are in the classroom, which I think has helped me a lot too because it's held me accountable to do well both on the field and in school. Like I was on the dean's list every year. I was a district academic team member this year, and I think that just says a lot about an athlete and showing that they can be more than just what they are on the field. So
For
yeah.
so for you, when it comes to women's sports, how important is representation?
I feel like it's very important. One thing for me with women's sports is that as a kid, I grew up also playing on boys' teams and different things. And for me, there was never like a barrier with the gender and everything. Like, I never felt like I wasn't good enough to play with the boys because I knew I was good enough to play with the boys. And I feel like when people are choosing whether or not to watch like men's or women's sports, I feel like you should watch both. I mean, we're both athletes, we're both amazing. Like kudos to the men for everything they do, but also kudos to the women for everything they do because I feel like they just got to show it more to be able to be seen as much as the men are, which is what I don't think is fair. But yeah.
Because it's like, that saying that everyone watches women's sports,
Mhm.
which is very true,
Very true.
but, you know, we should be able to, like, get the same opportunity. I mean,
Exactly.
I know for me, like, I hope to see more opportunity for athletes like myself. And
Mhm.
I say not just as a, say, and I don't mean as just, not, I don't mean like just saying as an athlete like a white woman. I say like as an
Mhm.
athlete that's on the autism spectrum, that's special
Mhm.
needs athletes. Like I hope to see more visibility. I hope to
Mhm.
see more representation
Mhm.
being featured in like the same opportunities. So,
Mhm.
but I think like that's why I always ask my guests like how important is representation? Because hey, you want it's like for me. I mean you want to see somebody that looks up to you like that's
Mhm.
similar to you and stuff. It's like, oh, this is so cool. This is so dope. Like,
Mhm.
man, like,
Mhm.
you know, being able to be seen as like a role model, be seen as like, now that's what I want to be.
No, that's how I feel like, especially with the kids I coach and everything, is just being able to be that person for them and that role model for them. Because if they can see that I've been able to play and excel at the collegiate level, they know that they can do that someday. So I think it's really cool.
For sure. So my question for you is, how impactful has the NIL been for you?
Um, I think it's been pretty impactful and everything. It's definitely helped me get my name out there and everything to different companies because I don't have like a lot of deals or anything. You know, where I don't play at an SEC top Division 1 school. I'm not making bands on bands like a lot of people can. But what I think it's helped me with the most is my future career actually because I'm a marketing major. I'm going into specifically like social media and digital media marketing. So just being able to put my own face out there and kind of toying with things and building a network for myself has definitely allowed me to understand what the business side of it, or excuse me, what the business side of it is like and be able to kind of excel in it, not for my personal benefit too. Because I gained a marketing internship through Concordia this year, and so I'm doing the marketing for like all the other athletics teams too. So I'm starting to do like interviews with them, just like you are with me, and um, just getting to show different sides of athletes that aren't just fully centered around their sport, which I think, like you said, is just very important. And so I feel like that's what NIL has kind of done for me, is just give me that like basis to start off of. Yeah.
That's, man, you doing multiple things all at once. I'm here for it. Oh, just know this podcast is raw real. So course. So just know this podcast is real, raw and real, because there gonna be some
Mhm.
bloopers. It's just like this
Oh,
moment.
it's
It has
okay.
some bloopers where it just automatically, all of a sudden, just like magic, voila, magic.
Mhm.
It's like here and there. So
Mhm.
this is amazing. This I would say this is what makes this podcast amazing. You get
Yeah,
bloopers
I
like
like
this.
it.
So, but my question for you is, if there was a word or a phrase to describe your journey so far, what would it be?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good question. Okay. I don't know if this is exactly how I would like describe my journey, but I'm gonna do it in the best way possible. So I would say the biggest phrase for me has been learning how to control the controllables. And when I say that, I mean that so like my freshman year, of course, I wasn't playing as much as I of course wanted to. I was a little baby freshman, had to kind of get under the ropes of what collegiate soccer was actually like because it definitely is different from high school and from club soccer. And I think for a while I was kind of in a dark place because I wanted to quit, like I wasn't playing and I wanted to be there to play. And then I had a talk with my dad one day on the phone when I was like really down. And he was like, you just need to learn how to control the controllables, like be able to control what you can control, which, like, for me is my attitude every single day, my effort on the field, my coachability, just all things that I can control myself. And then not worrying about the things that I can't control, like if my coaches decide not to play me, okay, as long as I'm showing up for myself, that's all that matters. And I think that like switch in mindset or switch in like attitude really helped me excel then the next year because I realized that I had to play for myself and for my teammates and for my family, like the people that got me here, rather than just trying to please, superiors or please somebody that was controlling like what I was doing, which ended up really working out. So
Hey, that is actually a great phrase because I've heard that phrase before. Learn how to
yeah.
control the controllers. It's like, oh, yes, I get
Mhm.
it. It's like, yes, I get it. It's like,
Mhm.
I've heard that phrase even in college. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah. Mm. Even the things that were like the inevitable. It's like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's like, it's like you want to control like everything, but it's like you can't.
You can't. You just can't. And that's okay. And I think it's helped me too, not only like in my sports journey, but also like in life. You're not going to control what other people do to you. But as long as I'm a good person and like I know that I'm always smiling and being happy and kind of wanting to be like a light in the room for another person, like that just says more about me than it does about the person who's being like rude or doing, bad things. So,
So I always ask my guests this question because
mhm,
Bonafide means authentic and unique. So
mhm.
here it goes.
Okay.
Boom. I know this is the new year, so I was like, I gotta hype
Uh-huh.
it up. So, so what makes Miss Sydney Potter bona fide? What makes your story stand out?
Okay. Um I would say for me, I feel like I'm just reiterating what I was kind of just talking about. However, like as a person, like being unique and everything, I think that one thing that makes me unique is that I always try to see like the good in every situation. I feel like I'm just a very optimistic person. Like I'm always just very like if you talk to any of my friends or people that know me or even people that pass me walking down the halls, I'm always smiling. I'm always happy. I just want to carry that into everything that I do because like even if something bad is happening to me behind closed doors, I just want to always make the best out of like that moment in time, even if I'm struggling with things like, that people don't see. And I think that's really like what stood out to me about especially like being in college is that I know not everyone can always do that. And so I feel like that's just something that makes me different. And then soccer wise and my journey wise, I would say something that's made me different is just like my resiliency and my consistency. I would say that even if I wasn't always like the best at a certain skill or the best at something, um, I would do it a million times until I did become the best at it, until I got a lot better at it, which I think is just something like it's just discipline at that point, and I think that was very important, but also just like never giving up. I'm not sure. I feel like that's how I'd answer that question.
Girl, that answer hit so deep. Hold up, wait a minute. I gotta get my tambourine because that hit so deep. Like
I love it.
it hit so deep. So Shout out to the person that gave me this tambourine for the podcast. Oh, appreciate it.
Mhm.
But I used to hear, I swear, resilience was the word for the year from
Mhm.
every guest that I had. It's like, dang, resilience. I was like, I like that word. That's on that
Mhm.
vocabulary right there.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, we starting out resilience again. Bow.
Everybody wants a resilient year. I love it. That's perfect.
Like, we here for it. We here
Mhm.
for it. So, Miss Sydney, can you let the folks know how where they can find you, follow you, if there's any upcoming events happening for you?
Of course. Okay, so my name again is Sydney Potter. You can follow me like soccer wise through Concordia St. Paul Women's Soccer. If you want to follow me personally, then you can follow me at Sydney, so SYDNEY period Potter POTTERR for the Instagram. That's my Instagram handle. And then I also do have TikTok. I think if you just look up Sydney Potter, it should come up because I don't really know the TikTok handle, but I've been posting a lot more on TikTok lately too. So we'll see.
Y'all be sure to follow the ooh, there you go. Y'all be
Yeah.
sure to follow the queen here first. Be sure to follow Miss Sydney Potter at Sydney.POTTERR
Double
and
R.
double R. And be sure to follow her on TikTok as well. And
Mhm.
follow the Concordia St. Paul's soccer team. Oh, I
Yes.
said it right!
You said it
Oh
right. Good
my gosh,
job.
I said it right!
Get that
'Cause I'm
tambourine out.
yeah, I said it right. I was like, wait a minute. This is- I made sure I didn't make sure I said
No,
the
you
whole
did so good. You did good.
yes. Y'all be sure to follow the queen here first. And be sure to check out the live replay of Bonafide Podcast episode
Mhm.
201 featuring Sydney Potter, the first episode of the new year. Y'all be sure to tune
Woo!
in to the live replay of it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Big shout out to Miss Sydney for being a guest on the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you,
Peace.
Miss